What if I told you the most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest, the strongest, or the most aggressive? It's the one who's completely silent, the one who's already decided, the one whose mind has become so disciplined, so unreactive, so comfortable with discomfort, that they've become unrecognizable to who they used to be. Here's what nobody tells you about building mental strength. The goal isn't to build a mind that scares other people. It's to build a mind that scares you. A mind so relentless that even you don't fully recognize what you're becoming. And if you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'm capable of so much more than this, but then watched yourself choose the easy path again and again and again, you already know the person I'm talking about. The version of you that could change everything is already there. You've felt them. In those moments at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep because you know you're settling, when you make a promise to yourself and then watch yourself break it the next day. Most people never meet that version of themselves. They die with it still locked inside, wondering what could have been. But here's the truth that's going to change everything. That person, the one you're afraid to become, the one who intimidates even you with their discipline and focus, they're not built through motivation. Motivation dies by Tuesday. We're building something permanent, something that operates when you don't feel like it, something that makes hard choices automatic. This isn't another video telling you to just be disciplined. This is the exact architecture of how you rewire your identity at the deepest level. And I'm warning you now, what I'm about to show you will make it impossible to go back to who you were. So, if you're ready to meet the version of yourself that's been waiting, let's begin. Before we go deeper, you need to understand something. Mental strength isn't built through random acts of toughness. It's not about waking up one day and deciding to be disciplined. That's why most people fail. They treat it like motivation instead of architecture. Real mental strength is built on 3 foundational pillars. And here's what makes this different. These aren't isolated skills. They're interconnected systems that reinforce each other. Master one, and the others become easier. Master all 3, and you become unrecognizable to your former self. Pillar 1, discipline architecture. Discipline isn't about willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that runs out by 3 p.m. This is about designing a life where the hard choice becomes the automatic choice, where your environment does the heavy lifting so you don't have to fight yourself every single day. Pillar 2, emotional sovereignty. Most people are puppets to their feelings. They feel anxious, so they avoid. They feel angry, so they react. They feel tired, so they quit. Mental strength means you feel everything. The fear, the doubt, the discomfort. But you are controlled by nothing. Pillar 3, identity transformation. Here's the truth. You don't build mental strength by doing hard things. You build it by becoming the type of person for whom hard things are normal. This is the deepest level, where change becomes permanent, because it's no longer about what you do. It's about who you are. These 3 pillars work together. Your discipline creates the space for emotional control. Your emotional control allows you to take identity-defining actions. And your identity makes discipline automatic. We're going to break down each one, and by the end, you'll have the complete blueprint. Let's start with the first pillar. Pillar 1, discipline architecture. Here's what they don't tell you about discipline. It's not a personality trait. It's not something you're born with. It's engineering. The people you think are naturally disciplined aren't fighting themselves every morning. They've designed their lives so the right choice is the easiest choice. They've built systems that make weakness impossible. Let me show you how. Your environment will always beat your motivation. Always. So, stop trying to white-knuckle your way through temptation and start removing it entirely. Want to wake up early and work out? Sleep in your gym clothes? Put your alarm across the room? Have your shoes by the door? Your morning self has the discipline of a child. So design the environment for that person, not the motivated version of you that exists at 11 p.m. when you're planning tomorrow. Want to stop wasting time on your phone? Don't keep it in your bedroom. Don't keep it in your pocket. Create friction between you and the distraction. Barack Obama wore the same suit every day for 8 years. Not because he lacked style, because he understood that every decision you make drains your ability to make harder decisions later. This is called decision fatigue, and it's killing your discipline. Elite performers don't decide what to do in the moment. They've already decided. When Jocko Willink wakes up at 4:30 a.m., he's not debating whether to get up. The decision was made years ago. It's not a choice anymore. It's an identity. You need to do the same. Sit down right now and write out your predetermined responses. When my alarm goes off, I immediately stand up. No negotiation. When I feel like skipping a workout, I do 10 push-ups first. Then I decide. When I want to check my phone during work, I take 3 deep breaths instead. These aren't motivational quotes. They're behavioral contracts with your future self. Here's a powerful exercise. Write a letter to yourself 6 months from now. Describe who you've become, the habits you've built, the discipline you've mastered, then read it every single morning. Why does this work? Because your brain can't tell the difference between a vivid imagination and reality. When you consistently visualize your disciplined future self, you start making choices that align with that identity today. But here's the critical part, and this is where most people fail. The 72-hour rule research shows that if you don't take action on a goal within 72 hours, it has less than a 2% chance of ever happening. That's not motivational talk. That's data. So if you're serious about building discipline, you need to take one micro action in the next 72 hours, not tomorrow, not next week, within 3 days. Start absurdly small. Don't commit to an hour workout. Commit to 2 push-ups. Don't commit to meditating for 20 minutes. Commit to 1 minute. The goal isn't the outcome. It's building the identity of someone who keeps commitments to themselves. Once you prove you can do 2 push-ups every day for a week, your brain starts to believe, I'm the type of person who works out every day. That identity shift is what makes discipline automatic. Jocko Willink said it best. Discipline equals freedom. When you build these systems, you're not restricting yourself. You're liberating yourself from the constant battle of willpower. You don't need motivation if you've built a life where discipline is automatic. Now let's move to the second pillar, because discipline without emotional control is just suffering. Now we need to talk about something uncomfortable, because if you don't understand this, everything else I'm about to teach you won't matter. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're not just staying the same. You're accumulating what I call comfort debt. And just like financial debt, it compounds with interest. Every morning you hit snooze, every difficult conversation you avoid, every workout you skip, every risk you don't take, it all adds up. And eventually, that debt comes due. It shows up as regret, as weakness, as the gut-wrenching feeling at 2 a.m. that you're capable of so much more than you're doing. Here's what's happening in your brain. Your reward system is designed to seek pleasure and avoid pain. That worked great when we were running from predators. But now, it's hijacking your ambition. Every time you choose the easy path, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. It feels good in the moment, but neurologically, you're training yourself to be weak. This is the soft life paradox. The easier your life becomes, the harder it feels psychologically. The more comfort you have, the more unbearable discomfort becomes. You become fragile. One setback, one rejection, one failure, and you break. The Spartans understood this. The samurai understood this. Every warrior culture in history knew that comfort is the enemy of capability. They deliberately chose hardship because they knew it was the only way to build strength. So, let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with this. Picture the person you're becoming if you continue exactly as you are, if you keep making the same choices, avoiding the same discomforts, taking the same easy paths, That future version of you is watching you right now. Are they proud or are they disgusted? I know that's hard to hear. Your excuses are valid. Maybe you really are tired. Maybe you really do have less time. Maybe your circumstances really are harder. All of that can be true, and it's also the reason you'll stay exactly where you are. But here's the beautiful part. Discomfort is a skill you can develop. The more you expose yourself to it, the more your tolerance grows. Which brings us to the second pillar. Pillar 2, emotional sovereignty. This is where most people fail. They build discipline, but the moment someone disrespects them, the moment fear kicks in, the moment anger rises, they lose control. All the discipline evaporates. So, let me teach you something that changes everything: emotional sovereignty. This isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering them. It's about feeling everything and being controlled by nothing. The observer technique. Here's the shift. You are not your anger. You are not your anxiety. You are not your fear. You are the one experiencing these emotions. There's a difference. When anger rises, instead of saying, "I am angry," say, "I am experiencing anger." This tiny linguistic shift creates separation. You become the observer of your emotions, not the prisoner of them. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood that external circumstances don't control you. Your response to them does. Emotional surfing. Think of emotions like waves. They rise, they peak, they fall. Neuroscience confirms this. If you don't feed an emotion with thought, it peaks within 90 seconds and naturally subsides. But what do most people do? They feed it, they ruminate, they replay the situation, they build a narrative, and that 90-second wave becomes a tsunami that lasts for hours. Learn to surf the wave, feel it, acknowledge it, but don't feed it with story. Just observe. This is anger. It will pass. The response gap. Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps by discovering something profound. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Someone insults you. That's the stimulus. Your reaction is the response. But in that gap, that fraction of a second, lies your power. Here's a practical technique to expand that gap. The 5s, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding method. When emotions spike, name 5 things you can see. Name 4 things you can touch. Name 3 things you can hear. Name 2 things you can smell. Name 1 thing you can taste. This pulls you out of emotional reactivity and into the present moment. It expands the response gap. It gives you back control. Want to master emotions? Train them like muscles. Deliberately expose yourself to discomfort. Take cold showers. Have difficult conversations. Put yourself in situations that trigger fear or anxiety. Why? Because you're building emotional calluses. Each exposure makes you stronger. Each time you feel fear and act anyway, you're proving to yourself that emotions don't control you. Remember this, emotional control isn't about not feeling. It's about feeling everything and being enslaved by nothing. Now let's talk about the third pillar, because this is where transformation becomes permanent. Before we go to the third pillar, we need to address the thing that stops most people from ever building mental strength: the fear of failure. Here's the truth that will set you free. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the evidence of effort. Thomas Edison didn't fail 10,000 times creating the light bulb. He found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That's not wordplay. That's a completely different relationship with failure. Not all failures are equal. There are 3 types: preventable failures, mistakes from carelessness. These are bad. Learn from them and don't repeat them. Complex failures, things that go wrong despite your best efforts. These are neutral. Adapt and move forward. intelligent failures, deliberate experiments that don't work out. These are good. They're necessary for growth and innovation. Stanford actually encourages students to create a failure resume, documenting their failures as proudly as their successes. Why? Because failure rewires your brain. Each time you fail and keep going, you're building neural pathways for resilience. Teddy Roosevelt said it perfectly. It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. Most people never enter the arena. They stay in the stands, criticizing, judging, playing it safe. And they wonder why their life feels meaningless. Here's your exercise. Write down 3 recent failures. Next to each one, write one specific lesson you learned. That's not failure, that's data. Your risk tolerance is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Each failure makes the next risk easier to take. The person who fails the most wins. Not eventually, immediately. Because they're the only one actually playing the game. Now, the third pillar. Pillar 3, identity transformation. This is the deepest level. This is where everything becomes permanent. Most people try to change at the surface level. They set goals. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make more money. That's outcome-based change, and it rarely lasts. Some go deeper. They change their habits. They go to the gym. They wake up early. That's process-based change, and it's better. But it still requires constant effort. The third level is identity change. This is where you stop doing hard things and start being the type of person for whom hard things are normal. Every action is a vote for your identity. James Clear explains it perfectly. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you're becoming. You don't need to win every vote. You just need 51%. Skip the workout? That's a vote for, I'm the type of person who quits when it's hard. Do the workout? That's a vote for, I'm the type of person who keeps commitments to myself. Your identity is simply the sum of these votes. And here's what changes everything. Once your identity shifts, the behavior becomes automatic. The language you use shapes who you become. Stop saying, I want to be disciplined. Start saying, I am a disciplined person who is still learning. That linguistic shift is everything. One is aspiration. The other is identity. The 5 whys technique. Ask yourself, why do I want mental strength? I want to be successful. Why? So I can achieve my goals. Why? So I can feel fulfilled. Why? So I respect myself. Why? Because right now, I don't. And I'm tired of living with someone I don't respect. That's the real reason. That's what drives lasting change. Define your non-negotiables, the lines you will never cross. Not because you're trying to be disciplined, because that's simply not who you are. I don't hit snooze. That's not who I am. I don't break promises to myself. That's not who I am. I don't avoid hard conversations. That's not who I am. This is character architecture. You're not fighting temptation anymore. You've simply defined yourself as someone for whom that behavior doesn't exist. Close your eyes. Picture the mentally strong version of you 6 months from now. How do they walk into a room? How do they talk? How do they handle stress? What decisions do they make automatically? That person exists. They're not a fantasy. They're just the accumulated result of identity-aligned actions compounding over time. Here's the truth. Motivation is trying to be someone you're not. Discipline is being who you already are. When you shift your identity, everything else becomes effortless. Now, let's make this real. Here's your 30-day blueprint. This isn't theory. This is the exact protocol that will transform you. Week 1, foundation phase. This week is about building the base. Every single day, 5-minute cold exposure. End your shower with cold water or dunk your face in ice water. This trains your nervous system to handle discomfort. 10-minute meditation or breath work. This builds the observer mindset we talked about. One uncomfortable action. Have that difficult conversation. Make that scary phone call. Do the thing you've been avoiding. By the end of the week, identify one comfort behavior and eliminate it. Maybe it's scrolling before bed. Maybe it's hitting snooze. Cut it out completely. Week 2, expansion phase. Now we add layers. Continue everything from week 1 plus morning pages. 3 pages of stream of consciousness writing every morning. This clears mental fog and builds self-awareness. Physical challenge, run, work out, or take a long walk. Your body and mind are connected. Practice the pause technique. When emotions spike, use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding method we covered. Do this at least once daily in a real situation. Start a failure log. Document one failure each day and extract the lesson. This rewires your relationship with failure. Week 3, integration phase. This is where everything clicks. Continue. Weeks 1 and 2, then design your environment. Remove temptations. Make discipline automatic. If your phone distracts you, put it in another room. If junk food tempts you, don't buy it. Establish non-negotiable routines, morning and evening. These become your anchor points. Implement the hard choice protocol. When facing 2 options, always choose the harder one. This builds identity faster than anything else. Weekly review. What's working? What needs adjustment? Adapt. Week 4, acceleration phase. Final week. This is where you prove what you've become. Do something that genuinely scares you. Public speaking, cold approaching someone, asking for something big. Face real fear. Write your identity statement. I am the type of person who, be specific, read it every morning, plan your next 90 days. Where are you going from here? Document your transformation. Write down how you've changed. This is evidence that you're capable of anything. Key principle, progressive overload. Each week should feel slightly beyond comfortable. That's how you grow. And listen, this isn't about perfection. Miss a day, start again tomorrow. The protocol doesn't fail. You just begin again. That's the difference between someone with mental strength and someone without it. Now, before we close, there's something you need to know. I need to be honest with you about what happens when you actually do this. Not everyone will celebrate your transformation. Some people will feel threatened. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You have. As you grow, some relationships will naturally fall away. This isn't cold, it's natural selection. You're becoming someone different, and not everyone can walk that path with you. There's a loneliness that comes with mental strength. You're choosing a path most people won't. The conversations that used to satisfy you become hollow. The people who used to understand you suddenly don't. But here's what they don't tell you. You'll find new connections, people operating at your level, people who don't need to be convinced that growth matters. And those relationships run deeper than anything you had before. The person you are now must die for the person you're becoming to live. That's not motivation speak. That's the reality. This is grief work disguised as self-improvement. And with mental strength comes a burden. You lose the ability to make excuses. You'll know you could do more, be more, push harder. That knowledge has weight. But here's what you gain. Unshakable self-respect. The kind that doesn't need external validation. Freedom from emotional reactivity. You feel everything, but are controlled by nothing. The quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever life throws at you. A life you're actually proud of, not just comfortable with. You're allowed to become someone your current friends don't recognize. Growth requires it. The scared version of you is dying. Good. Let it. Now, make your choice. In the next 60 seconds, you'll make one of 2 decisions. Option 1, close this video and return to who you were. nothing changes. Life continues exactly as it is. That's fine. Not everyone is ready. Option 2. Take one immediate action that proves you're serious. Right now. Before you do anything else, text someone you need to have a hard conversation with. Sign up for that thing you've been avoiding. Delete the app that's stealing your life. Do 20 push-ups until failure. Write your identity statement on a piece of paper. I don't care what action you take, just take one. In the next 60 seconds. Because here's the truth. A year from now, you'll either be someone you respect or someone with more excuses. That future is being decided right now, not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Right now, drop a comment with one word that represents your commitment. One word. This creates accountability. This makes it real. It takes courage to become this person. Not everyone has it. Do you? The mind that scares people starts with a mind that scares you. The version of you that's capable of everything you want already exists. You just have to have the courage to become them. The choice is made. Now, go prove it. If this resonated, you're not alone. Thousands are on this same path. Subscribe if you're serious about this transformation. We're going even deeper in the next video. The comments section is full of people documenting their journey. Add yours. Drop that one word. Commit publicly. Send this to one person who needs to hear it. Sometimes we need someone else to show us the path. Remember, mental strength isn't built in a day. It's built in 1,000 small decisions to choose the harder path. You're capable of this. Now go prove it to yourself. Stay strong, stay committed, and I'll see you in the next one.